What's up, SFL? It's the Midnight Ride coming to you for Week 7 action. Yes, as you can see above, I did lose this week. It was a tough week against Robert, but I'm doing okay. I'm really...
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Well, I'm okay. Listen, I am okay. It's gonna be okay. 2-4. Got a big game against a guy that I might be able to beat this week. Not sure, but I want to put my hands off to Robert. He had a good game, and I just need quarterbacks. That's simply what it comes down to. I need quarterbacks. But this week, I'm playing Mr. Gee, King Gee. So let's look at our matchup. But wait, what's that?
Here's the fact. I'm the Wiz.
That's right. Mr. King Gee, you're my opponent this week. The Wiz, as I might call him. And I'm excited to get started. But before we do, let's review what happened in my loss last week against Robert. All right, let's get started with our matchup. We had, of course, Mahomes had a big week. Jackson had a bad week, which helped me out because I kind of just tied him with Geno Smith. But, Mills had a late interception that hurt. Kareem Hunt had an okay game. Hubbard had a okay game. Sutton, that hurts me. A big trade between me and Mr. Robert for Sutton. Of course, I couldn't use my guy against him and Mike Davis, but Sutton went off. And that was probably the end of it because, CeeDee Lamb with that last late touchdown. Henry keeps just chugging along with almost 40 points. It just wasn't enough. He got very lucky that Tannehill ran that one score in, and then they called that kickoff touchdown back. But you know what? That's okay. I didn't deserve to win this week, so I'll take it. Looking at my bench, there was nothing I could do. I mean, maybe start Sanders, but with that offense, I don't know what to do with that team. He had a little bit probably more options, but overall, I think we both had two strong weeks, and he just had me better. It just was better this week. But looking around the league, Queen of Thorns goes down, which is a surprise. But, Dylan's team is coming around with his backups, and they're doing well. Chalupa Batman, again, strong as anything. My Lanta, my ball, Zach Hurts, lost. I was hoping you could beat up on Ariel and the Gayrolls, but that didn't happen. I do appreciate Victor's win against the Space Between to keep me in the race in my own division. And then, of course, King McGee getting his first win against D. Haas. That was an important game for him. He has confidence now. That means I can lower that confidence really quickly with a loss. So that's what I'm hoping for this week. But before we get into our matchup, let's look at the standings with our midnight playoff update. And the playoffs, I'm not looking too hot in the playoffs. I'm in 8th right now as far as when it comes to our rankings. Obviously, the top 7 get in. As we look at our standings, we have a division of 3s and 3s right here. That's exciting to see. Maybe King McGee gets back into it. Not going to happen this week, but maybe he does. My division, we have Chalupa Batman and Gabriel staying at the top with me and Space Between at 2 and 4. And, of course, we have the Queen of Thrones that lost their first game. And Deontay's Johnson, Robert's big win against me, puts him 1 game back, so he is hanging in there. And then, of course, D. Haas, my Lanta, my Balzac Hurts at 2 and 4. Now, I think this is what is going to help me this week, and that's getting into a little bit of our transactions. If we look, King McGee took on OJ Howard. Daniel Carlson, because he didn't have a kicker or a tight end, so that was a big claim for him. Devontae Freeman, I think that's a great pickup by you, Dylan, because I think Murray probably is not going to play this week. If he does, very limited, so good pickup for you. And then Peyton Barber, he finally gave up on one of the running backs because you need a tight end again, and Cole Kmet is in your team. And then the big pickup this week was made by me, as I am going for broke. I need a running back, and for even 1 week, I will pay top dollar. I paid $50. There were 4 people that went for it, with the Queen with 35. But I took Michael Carter, took him out. I'm hoping, still hoping, in my olive hopes that Mac gets traded to some team that could put him in a good situation. So I'm going to hold on to him for now. So I got rid of Carter. So he's on the waiver wire. Anybody want to pick him up? That'd be a good thing for you. I think he's going to be still the number one back in the Jets. So yeah, pick him up. Big pickup. But going forward, let's look at our matchup between myself and Guy. So if you look at Guy's team, the quarterback number is a little off, so don't worry about that. But Tom Brady, Jameis, one person that can see, one person that can't see. So I'm hoping for some picks from Jameis. Not too many, because I'm starting this week in Callaway, Marquez Callaway, who had a big week before the bye week. So hoping for that. McKissick, Gaskin. There you go. Harris, who's a little banged up. Maybe he'll play. Hilton, that got hurt last week. You got Mike Evans, of course. You're taking, okay. Yep. The second string Baltimore receivers, because those Baltimore wide receivers are just going off this week, so it's a good choice. And then, of course, you got O.J. Howard and Carlson, the two guys you picked up. All right, so you are going all in on Tom Brady. Tom Brady must have a big game for you to keep it close. But if you look at me, I'm not saying too much because I don't have any quarterbacks. It was just told today that Tyrod's not playing, so Mills going back in the lineup with Geno Smith. Henry, always going to be my number one. I am going to start Sanders this week. I've seen some news articles. Maybe this is going to be his week. I've got D. Johnson, not David Johnson, the new Cleveland starting running back. Tyler Lockett, hopefully. Ridley is finally back after a 2-week hiatus. We talked about Callaway. Gesicki is going off, and I'm excited. And then, of course, hey, if Tom Brady goes off, maybe Suckup gets a bunch of points. So, overall, decent matchup. It's showing that I should win. I think this week I will, just because of the amount of injuries and bye weeks that Guy has. So, let's hope. Let's hope for it. All right, SFL, it is week 7. We're getting right there to the midway point of the season. But, hey, Guy, it's getting close to the stroke of...